There you go, guys. A questionable opening to a tactical perspective toy review on Prophet Director Destro, number 15 in the series, as you see back here in the background. I am your host, the Crusty Old Crow, uh, the Canadian Armed Forces veteran that applies the stuff he learned in a career in a wacky tactical perspective to things on G.I. Joe classified line, and who obsessively collected and thought about Joe over the years since his childhood back in the 80s when all this was taken off in 82 and 94 especially. Right? Not the start of G.I. Joe, but definitely the biggest momentum shift for that particular property. This figure sat in the background for a long time before I ever considered getting it, and we'll talk about that as I review it, and then we'll get to the box. I just really want to clearly, I bought this to go with my Crimson Strike team, right? Clearly, I don't have to over explain that. So here we have my old Destro Party. I've got a hair in my face, so I don't know how that happens. My old Destro, which I wasn't around to get the earlier rendition of Destro early in the line. This was my G.I. Joe Retro line Destro. And here you can say, just for an amusement over the opening, I'm saying this is a Destro who does not have his groove, who has zero pimpitude to him. He is just your standard Mars representative, Cobra Agent Destro, dangerous man. But does he got game? No, he don't got no game. And that's why nobody take him seriously in the circles he wants to run in as he helps lead Crimson Strike into the new age. Destro needs to get his groove on. Okay, it's not get your groove back, Destro. You got to get your groove on home. Okay, so this is why we upgrade. I'm gonna keep them nearby if I need to explain any further. We upgrade to a more pimped out Destro, right? But does that mean he goes over well with the community? No, because when he came out really early in the series when everybody was going, why does G.I. Joe look like a bunch of Fortnite characters? And that, my friends, is exactly what he did look like, briefcase or no. He looked like a Fortnite character. And so a lot of the opinion, either you loved it or you hated it. Personally, I was putting a pin in it, but at the time I wasn't feeling it. I wanted a traditional Destro. And no matter how good you got, you had to back your game, Destro. You had to back your game. You could dress like a player all day, but is you a player? Because nobody else was thinking it. Nope, not Dave Chappelle, who I steal these little gifs and videos off of, which I don't own anything off the internet, right? But you got to look at Destro's situation, right? So here he is, working in Cobra, and again, shout out to the cosplayers and the artists. If you ever happen across this video and I used your crap, please just take my thanks and not my phone number. All right, well, not my phone number for lawsuits. Anyways, so there's Destro working with all these Valkyries, and he's thinking to himself, like, there's a market somewhere else that we haven't dipped into, right? And every now and then he goes to the beach, does beach operations with the Dreadnoks, and Baroness shows up in this stuff that makes him think, you ain't just a co-worker woman. No way you just a co-worker woman. Now when you do stuff like this, what you doing to old Destro here? He's just one man. He can't hold up, right? So, again, he starts thinking about what's my role here. So then he markets a new way of doing things, right? And he starts seeing some opportunities on the side, starts talking to some European contacts, starts talking to women about how their espionage techniques can be best employed. And before you know it, he's not just a player in the game anymore, acting the part. He's full-on part. He's got a lethal cadre of crimson-clad female assassins working for him. The graduates who step up their game from the standard Cobra ranks into the Crimson Guard. And, now he's definitely got the game to back the play. So he's got the respect of the community, right? That's what I see when I look at this figure. And guys, he didn't fit in very well early in the collection, but now, of course, with the Crimson Strike team and with some Crimson Bats and some Crimson Vipers and some Crimson Guard and Retro Crimson Guard, he's actually starting to fit in much, much better, I think. And I have not yet stood him next to my Crimson Guard because I wanted to do that for the review. So here you have the figure with his sunglasses on. One of the earlier goes at it where it worked again, just like with my roadblock. It worked good. Hey, just a reminder, guys, if you do like these things, you could do that. What else could you do? You could subscribe. Sure, go ahead, join our Murder of Crows. We'd love to have you. You guys know I really do want to connect with you guys over this Joe stuff. I love this Joe stuff. And you can share my videos if you think of places where this content would be appreciated for the Joe content that it is, or for the perspective of the Canadian veteran that throws so much into it, guys. You know how much I love this stuff. You can go ahead and do all that. You know, you can collect my videos, swap them with friends like Pogs. I don't know what you guys do. Of course, you can agree or disagree with me on anything I say in this video, okay? And you can back that in comments, or, you know, if you, like I was saying in another video, if you want to send me an email to tell me in private, you know, your story or your Joe collection or your thoughts. You don't necessarily want it shared on the in the comments. Feel free to ask me for that, and I will send that to you. I really quick, I got if you guys watched my last video, it was the hot mic for today, for December, whatever. And I awkwardly kind of danced around the subject of the subscribers offering me things, and you know, I was doing that so that I would feel like I put it out there, you know, what my intent is, right? And I kind of stand by it because it's an awkward subject of what I feel is, you know, what my old way of feeling is, right? And I'm pretty rooted in that stuff. I'm a stubborn guy, guys. You guys know that. However, I have respect for perspectives, and I always love it when somebody shows me a new perspective. And D-Macism came out in the comments, and he gave me a very good testimony as to why I shouldn't shut down this idea of maybe accepting the offers you guys put out there with regards to these figures. And he gave me some middle ground view on that as well, and reminded me, like, hey, I'm in Canada. Maybe I get figures you guys don't get anymore or haven't seen yet. And I thought, no way. We're like last on the list for distribution. There's no possible way that's true. And yet it actually might be. So I think that is maybe where my stance is. I talked about the library effect, where you guys mail a figure, I review it, and I mail it back to you because I don't want to take from your precious collection, but I understand you want to contribute. But I'm also open to saying, hey man, if you really want to kind of help back that channel a little bit, we can do where I can maybe buy you a figure, and you send me something that I can't get over here in Canada. That was something I didn't see that D-Mac brought up. And the most important point that he brought up, I think the strongest point that resonated with me, and I thank you again, D-Mac, for your support, your continued support on this channel. You're really a wise guy. You really are. I don't want to put anything out there that prevents me from connecting to you guys. You guys are collectors. You're watching me because you connect with me. And that's why I have the 130 whatever subscribers I currently have, is because you guys feel some sort of connection, clearly, I guess. I hadn't weighed that as much as I thought I had. So I don't want to put anything out there that keeps us from connecting. And if this is the way it goes, maybe I'm just old and set my ways, and maybe I'm just not familiar enough with how to do a YouTube channel yet to maybe just handle that gracefully. But let's move past all that awkward crap. I've said more than enough, and I think we'll leave it at that, and I hope everybody understands. And if you guys want to open that discussion better in the comments or in an email, let me know. But like I said, it's the soldier in me. There's got to be a give and take, guys. There's got to be a give and take. Can't just be me talking all the time, right? And then you guys going, we like it. Well, I mean, that's what's going on. I'm blathering. Guys, Destro. So when this one came out, you guys will remember it had this going on in the line as well. I'm just going to recap what was going on there. The Fortnite effect was really kind of killing the early rep for this, although some of those accessories that weren't fictitious, like I'm looking at Scarlet's loadout and some of the other accessories on some of these guys, they weren't that bad, but the one when they were really sci-fi, they really kind of ruined the figure a little bit in some people's opinions. Of course, the Cobra Infantry Soldier was always outside of that. The Cobra Infantry Soldier and the Officer, sorry for the small images. Again, I don't own these. I had to Google Prophet Prophet Director Destro because I didn't understand the lore or anything like this. And I realized, and maybe I'm wrong on this, if you guys know more about it than I do, but just off my initial tens and 20s on the internet about doing a little dive into seeing what was available to learn. I think this was the first iteration of them from what I'm gathering. I don't think there was one. I don't know. Was there one between the end of the 82 line and 94? Like after 95 to now, did some of those other lines do a Prophet Director Destro? Because I don't see it on the internet. It's all about the classified version and then pictures and animations of it or stuff like that. So I found that rather interesting, that they just did this bold new concept, and then later when they did the Crimson Guard, it worked. Was that forethought? Did they know back then how they were going to approach Crimson Guard? And I'm saying it worked. I haven't put it next to the figures yet. So there was that. Here were some conversions of a Crimson Guard Destro that somebody else did, and I thought that was what I would expect out of the Crimson Guard Destro. There's a Crimson Guard Cobra Commander variant at some point, or conversion. Again, I apologize, these are off Google. And I would look forward to something like that, a hooded Cobra Commander in this Crimson Guard for sure. But again, the more SS German style Crimson Guard, I expected a dark Destro, not a full-on red one. But for the Crimson Guard. But when I looked at Prophet Director Destro, I realized it was right under my nose the whole time. This was it. Crimson Guard Destro, right? So I immediately then saw him and I was like, yeah, that works, right? Some designs that other artists have put out there for Crimson Guard, like Deathcore Krieg 40K kind of influence there, I think. But very cool. But yeah, the long trench coat. I'd love to see a officer or a Crimson Guard lieutenant or somebody that has this trench coat. Like to picture a Crimson Guard commissar, somebody who executes you if you fail your task. Wouldn't that be a neat concept right there? Anyways, kudos to whoever provided that image to the interwebs so I could steal it like the dirty crow I am. So what do we know about Destro, guys? We're going to get into the file card. I'll do that head-to-toe inspection. I'll give you a play grade and that playability grade and that tactical grade, which I sometimes focus on when I see a more military figure. Today, I think I'll be putting it more on some pimp-ass figure here and some pimp style. And maybe the creative... the creative juices that poured all over this man, for lack of better terms. But I'll let you get a gander on there. Maybe I'll move that camera around from time to time to focus on some points like I sometimes do. Gotta fix your shades, Destro. Style and profiling. That is a villain with some crimson love right there. Well, I guess it all depends on your perspective on who is a villain. Anyways, what do we know about him? Don't know his name. He's a weapons manufacturer. We know that Mars Tech is his company, and we can see that example of that tech when we look at Scrap Iron's drone, for example. And I would imagine maybe Firefly has a bit of his stuff in his arsenal. I have no idea. But I wonder if the coil was made by Mars. I never looked it up. Anyways, Destro is the faceless power behind Mars, military armaments research system, largest manufacturer of state-of-the-art weaponry. To Destro, war is man's most natural state. The fittest survive, and the greatest technological advances are made. He maintains luxurious lifestyle around the world. Destro provides high-tech arms to any side able to meet his price, and will incite war where it does not exist. He dons his silver battle mask, a family tradition, and enters the battlefield himself, either with Cobra Command, Destro is their major weapons supplier after all, or against them if it's better for business. And that takes that new aspect of looking at Crimson Guard as well. They're Cobra. They could overthrow Cobra. They could coup Cobra Commander. Destro respects the G.I. Joe team for their combat skills and expertise, but abhors them for wasting such skill to maintain peace. He's totally dedicated to seeing them undermined, subverted, or destroyed. All right, so that's what we know about Destro. And before I go on to the box and then go on with that head to toe and play grades and whatnot, I just want to quickly send a shout out to Patrick, who nailed me in the comments on Hot Mic earlier today and said, you know what, man? I was in that store too. You didn't notice. He's talking about when I met Ramon at GameStop just yesterday, and I talked about Ramon on the channel. And I sent a shout out to all these people, but I didn't even notice that Patrick had actually been listening, and he actually took down my YouTube channel, and he's joined us. So thank you very much, Patrick. It is always great to have some more Canadians out here. So I really appreciate that. And, you know, if you were just a U.S. citizen visiting Canada, I hope you enjoyed your time. But let us know about you in the comments there. Let's get to know you a bit, buds. And same as any of you who feel like I haven't addressed you, I apologize. Sometimes, you know, I'm 50 years old. My eyes ain't what they used to be when I look at, you know, my updates and whatnot. But if you feel like maybe I need to know you a bit better, you can hit those comments too. And I'm definitely reading them. Guys, let's have a look at the box. So the box right away, I was impressed. Like I said, I had not seen this on store shelves. I ordered this from Amazon. I know in an earlier video, I might have said eBay, but it's from Amazon. And there you can see there's PCFs or primary combat functions there. But you see how the number is embossed in gold this time, right? Like Prophet Director, everything is gold and red here. So I thought that was a nice little add. It carries over to the front of the box clearly. Not a big fan of this style of animated art. I mean, I know there is a market for it, and it reminds me very much of Powerpuff Girls or what some of those Adult Swim high humor weird animated content that, you know, doesn't really speak to my generation. Definitely speaks to the younger generations, I'm sure. On the back, we had the old Joe mural. So back in the day, before we got into doing digital renders and all that other good stuff, we had the old Joe mural, which had hints of what else was coming in that line. You've heard me in other videos. If you guys are just joining, I'll have to talk to you like you've never seen these things before, because I never know who's just joining the line and who's a diehard dedicated. I just know we're all here for the same thing, right? Talk about Joe, classified. So you can see this box. If you remember back to the old 82 to 94 line, they used to have the file card, and they used to have all of this. Instead, it would just be little snapshots of what you could expect in the line, and then they had the mail-in purchase code. Now, in this day and age, we just get simple art and digital renderings and legal gobbledygook all over there, and that's about what we can expect. And I don't think that's ever going to change, despite the controversy of the plastic packaging. There you go, and there's the top of the Cobra emblem, and you can see in the back he's got a very nice colorful background for his background to make him highlight a little bit. So let's talk about this package. Okay, this is what we're going back to essentially. You guys have seen my other update videos, and I just watched one with hey guys, if you watch Artist Shark, I think the Artist Shark had put out a video, and he's showing you that he's managed to track down some new pics of the packaging for Airborne, as well as the Sailor 60th anniversary classified figure that will soon be on the market. But this is the style of packaging we're going back to, and you know, I talked about the QC stuff, and I'm not going to talk about that here, but it's relevant. If you want to know about that, watch the last couple of videos from the last couple of days. I talk about it quite extensively, my thoughts on that stuff and what this will do for that. So, where was I going to go on the plastic? Yeah, well, I have a new thought. You know, Demacism, you keep giving me new perspectives, and that goes, well, you know what else, Ryan? You've been stuck in the mud on a few things. Maybe I've been stuck on the mud on this whole plastic and plastic-free packaging issue. Maybe this whole time I've been trying to respect Hasbro for what they've been trying to do with an environmental conscience, you know, protect Mother Nature. But then it occurs to me, I got to challenge even that perspective sometimes, guys. And I heard another guy talk about it a long time ago. I can't remember if it was on TV or on the internet, or if I was eavesdropping on a secret conversation between two people. I don't know. I don't know how the crow comes across half of the stuff he knows. But I remember saying, it's interesting. You know, like, we want to save the planet. You guys want to save the planet. We want to save Earth. We're going to do things like recycle and everybody, but we're going to guilt all those previous generations for destroying the planet. But you know what? Mother Nature picked the fight first. She did. She picked the fight first. Okay, how many billions and trillions and billions of lives were lost over earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, hurricanes, volcanoes, mother freaking asteroids falling out of the sky, wiping out entire species? Mother Nature declared war on life on this planet far before we ever got the means of fighting back. And what did we really do to fight back? We took her first real hardcore noticeable victims, the dinosaurs. We converted it all to crude oil processing and made it our fossil fuel and destroyed the ozone. So, I mean, ever since then, we've been blamed for our retaliation strike. That's one perspective you can look at it. So maybe I don't care so much what packaging Hasbro uses. That's not really how I feel about that stuff, but that's what I'll do every now and then. I'll look at something I thought I knew and say, rethink that. Rethink that from a different person's perspective. So here we have our Destro. I'm going to take the glasses off so you can get a good look at that head, and I'm going to take his cloak off for now. We'll just leave the briefcase in his hand, but there's shit in the briefcase. Don't tell your kids, crusty old crow swearing again. But, this guy makes me want to swear a lot. It's just got that vibe to it. Like, this motherfucker right here. So yeah, very pimp style on this one. Gold instead of silver for the head. The face sculpt's just brilliantly stone cold. I mean, you can't really do anything with the face sculpt. It's a mask. It's a family mask. It's not like you can put a big grin and happy face on it and then, switch heads and have a big frowny face and it still makes sense for a mask. So no new complaints or observations there. I dig the red eyes. He's got this illegal leopard collar, which matches the stuff on his pants. Head articulation is as better limited as it always was with the Destro figure, but I mean, it's pretty good for the forward neck movement and joint. Just, you're not going to get it past any snapping of the neck twisting motion, really, or anything like that, but no complaints here. He's got that pimp ass, what is that, a ruby? Looks like a ruby on his neck, on that gold chain, just following that. Dude just sweats money, right? I'm a big fan of the overall repaint of an old Destro sculpt, clearly, and that's what it is. I like the colors that they're using, but that leopard skin really captures the mood of the character for me, and I'm liking the mood a lot more now post Crimson Guard classified releases than I was before. So just moving down that chest line, we got the full articulation that we had with the other one, the lean back to go forward. He's got no second chest layer to interrupt anything, and no problems with the joints here. He's earlier in the line, and I almost feel like they almost were paying more care, but maybe it was that plastic packaging that made the difference. I don't know, guys. And you can see his accessories are either going to be leopard skin print, silver, as shown on the belt here, and the elbow pads, by the way, or this red, this bright candy apple, Christine red, right? Christine the car from the Stephen King movie. For younger fellas out there that don't know what the hell I just said. So he's got all that going for him, which really kind of augments, well, what I was really a big fan with, and I know I'm summarizing the head to toe, but I'm going to pick out certain details and look at them closer with you in a minute. I was a big fan of the boots because they had those gold steel toe plates, and I'm thinking, a pimp motherfucker like this, he's probably got a stiletto blade in those toes somewhere, and I kind of wish one of them had a little stiletto pointed blade on it. I think that would be really cool, and that would have suited as well, right? That he is clearly a man made of money, out to do business, out to flex his style. He surrounds himself probably with the highest class looking ladies and bodyguard staff. You get these glasses on him, and then this beautiful cape. If there's anyone out there who's itching to pull that animal rights button with me, just maybe ask me for my email and you can vent that there. I'm not looking deep into this. This is a toy. I like the representation. It makes him feel like he definitely has access to Naga hide and the poaching bit. And it goes to really supplement the type of villain we're looking at, right? Yeah, there goes those glasses. Watch me break them too. So yeah, and it's a great fit. I mean, I like how they chose to just mold it over the shoulders as a one-piece slip-on, and it gave you some versatility and some choices here. I was really a fan of that. as we pull out your old magnifying glass, you can have a look at the missiles on the wrist are the gold there. Got that. The hard pack holster on the side. You know, we don't need that. Hard pack holster, a couple mag clips for a gun of not included in this set style and caliber. Because the gun he gets is this small, it looks like it's trying to be both a revolver and a pistol. And you can even throw a bit of fictitious energy gun in there. It's this gold design from their Fortnite collection, I'm sure. Not hating on the style, but I don't understand the drum sense to it in the middle of it if it is a pistol. It makes me think it's got to be an energy gun, which I wouldn't be a fan of. I would have preferred something very traditional, old school pimp. If I find something like that in my collection that suits this character at any point in the future, you can expect me to replace that. But yeah, overall, I'm giving this a lot of credit for its style, more so than I would normally, because how would you look at this tactically, Ryan? Well, I'll let you know, all right? This is a man who needs his bodyguards big time. So tactically, he is all about power and feel than he is about battlefield survivability, right? So I gotta be forgiving about that. Is he arming himself? Sure, he's got a couple of missiles that he can surprise you with off his wrist. He's got a sidearm, fair enough. Who knows what else he's packing? Oh, I love one takes and you don't edit that out, right? You don't know what else he's packing in that briefcase, but there it goes. I'll show you one thing. He's got that burning money, right? I loved that little accessory. That's the kind of stuff I want to see out of Hasbro that they keep showing us. Be it, you know, maybe you don't like Tripwire's rat. I thought it was a neat nod. I'm not a big fan of growing as Joe Zoo. You've seen me kind of joke about it. But I thought this was a fantastic, just little piece of diorama and character development feature. Just this burned, tattered piece of wad of bills, and it's even got the money band around it. Like, if you have a look, you know, I wish they had kind of colored that money band, but that's okay. I can let that go. If I want to, I'll just do it myself, right? There's your solution. Don't be afraid to do things to your own collection, especially if you're not planning on flipping them. Ooh, it's a hard thing to get in his hand, though, so you know what? We won't bother! What else did we get? We got that briefcase. It's pretty much, it is a clone of the one that Destro came with before, but I like it better in the retro one, in that at least they used a different color for the handle and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. Good that they put it. It would have been really easy to just leave it at gold and say, oh, everything's gold, right? And he's got that computer with the Cobra logo in there and the monitor. Like, everything else is gold, 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 except all that cash, right? So, yeah, I mean, you are looking at probably the surprise character that, you know, since I started collecting this March, so yeah, about March, I wasn't even looking at this Destro. I was like, hell no. This was a reason I went and immediately grabbed a retro Destro at first. But at that point, I hadn't seen any Crimson Guard. Jesus. Hadn't seen any Crimson Guard. Hadn't seen the Cobra Strike, Crimson Strike. Hadn't seen Cobra Bats. Hadn't seen Cobra Vipers. And the coil was kind of its own independent red thing. Now, we're going to go and put him with there. And put him with his proper people. Let's just get that briefcase in the hand. We want him ready to go. And they brought him a parting gift. You know, turns out that there was a Cobra op that managed to get him a gift for his new look. And the Joes have a strong feeling about it. And there might be a rescue op at some point. Oh, geez. Do we need the base? So let's stick them in here. There we go. So there you have them, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some light on the situation. We'll just get some light on that. At least a bit. There you go. So there it is, your Crimson, I keep calling them Crimson. At no point in this title are they talking Crimson, right? But there you have them. Do I got them in focus now? Yeah. There you got them. Okay. Crimson Destro, sorry, Prophet Director Destro, definitely enjoying his new gift in the stolen Tiger Force recruit mascot tiger, and just looking as Mac Daddy as you can get in amongst that set. I'm very pleased with it. This Destro will clearly have to retire down to the swamp people, and we are going to leave it with this one. I have no regrets. I paid 50 bucks Canadian for it. It arrived on my doorstep this morning as scheduled. You know what? I know fully aware how this is starting to add up, how clumsy I am in my videos. I know that I would make a drinking game out of this. Just going through my videos and going, we all do shots every time he drops a Joe, drops an accessory, his camera falls, his camera stand falls, he knocks something over. What a great time. Hey, listen, playability grade. You know, pre-Crimson Guard releases further down the line. Remember, Crimson Guard were, I think, 54 in the line? Number 50 in the line, and this Destro is number 15 in the line. Pre-Crimson Guard releases, this thing's playability, I think, was hit down to a B minus C. He stood out too far from the other Cobra's characters available at the time. He was kind of wacky off the wall, and he didn't really jive with this terrorist cell, and much more than just like an associate. But he didn't feel like Destro in the same way to me on my age group, in my connectivity to what I remember as a child. But post Crimson Guard release, he is a great supplement. If you've missed out on getting them, I got mine through Amazon. It was 40 bucks, 50 bucks. Remember, you could always just go to walmart.ca, pay 168 for them. But at least I mentioned Amazon first. Amazon, if you're listening. But yeah, it was worthwhile for me to get that figure, and I have zero regrets. I think that's a great pick while I wait on my Ripper, wait on my Wolf Spider, all that stuff. And so that was the play grade, the tack grade. Like I said, guys, I am trading off my tack to the fact that he brought a gun to protect himself. He brought cash to buy himself out. He is dressed to flex power. He is dressed to flex style. I gave him a solid A+ on that as well. And like I said, I am loving how he just kind of completes that Cobra Strike. And that's that. Again, guys, thank you for all your support. DMAC, thank you for your words. Patrick, thanks for joining the channel. Everybody, just thanks very much. And I'll keep sending shout outs to you guys as best as I can. But please understand, if I ever overlook you, it wasn't, it was just with my eyes, not with my heart, boys. I'm really glad to have you all here. Thanks so much. Bye.